Zangief simply isn't what he used to be. I've been playing this character a lot recently, and obviously with the events as the last chance qualifier for Capcom Cup this year, and there's a very good potential that we will get a Zangief trailer at the upcoming IGN Game Fest thing. I figured we need to talk about Zangief because this character is now relegated to a counter pick or like a surprise pick character. He's pretty much non-viable, and that is really sad considering the legacy of this guy. Now, in a recent video where I talked about the most nerfed character, I said that Zangief's issue is a design issue. It's not really his individual nerfs, or is it V-Shift that made Zangief struggle. I think Zangief's design in Street Fighter V is just bad. There was this quote by Brian F while he was fighting a Zangief where he said, and I quote, "This version of Zangief is by far one of the dumbest fighting game characters I have ever seen. I honestly think Gief's design is such a freaking travesty. I think he's honestly one of the worst designed characters in any fighting game I have ever played. He's just a walking casino. It's so stupid. It's just designed for everybody to hate their life. He's not good, so Gief player gets to complain all the time, but he's also the dumbest thing once he gets one SBD. He's just a terrible design. Nobody's happy. Who's happy about Zangief? Honestly, it's a travesty just how bad he is as a fighting game character." If you want the short of it, the main issue with Zangief in Street Fighter V, what makes a lot of people dislike him in this game, is that Capcom decided to go with a different direction this time with Zangief. In the previous game, Street Fighter 4, Super Turbo, etc., Zangief was a footsies character that had access to a command grab that was pretty damaging and very rewarding. But first and foremost, Zangief was a footsies character. In Street Fighter V, Capcom decided to go with another direction and make Zangief centered around the command grab. He is so aggressively designed around the heavy punch SBD and the EX SBD mix-up where you dash and you B plus 2 and then you can vortex them, that it kinda overtook his entire design. And a big part of this is how Street Fighter V is designed as well. You see, in Street Fighter V, the game is designed in such a way that there is very few hard knockdowns. It's honestly very specific attacks and crush counter sweeps that can have this effect. And with that in mind, Capcom designed command grabs so that the opponent can only quick rise or delay rise after them and they can't back rise. So this meant that command grab became a very good way to maintain Oki for characters who have such tools. And with that in mind, and with Capcom viewing Zangief as the premier grappler, they wanted to focus everything around it and really hammer that concept down with Zangief. And you can see it in every part of his design. His V-Skill 1, it's armored. They want Zangief to be able to armor attacks, but you can't really do much with it on its own. The idea here is they want you to armor stuff and then go for the SBD. His V-Trigger 1, it sucks you in, and then you go for the SBD. His V-Trigger 2, you try to land the SBD, and once you land the SBD, you wanna do it again and again and again. And with that in mind, Capcom decided to give Zangief very few like combo tools and also make it so that his pokes aren't rewarded. Zangief pretty much just get crouching jab. He can even do like 2 crouching jabs in a row. Like it is that comically bad for him in Street Fighter V. And this kinda brings us to the older games, where the design of Zangief was first and foremost around footsies, whiff punishing, and then converting from that whiff punishing into knockdowns, getting close to the opponent, and then threatening with the SBD. It was never the SBD vortex as the main idea behind Zangief. Let's take a look at a really good Street Fighter V round for Zangief, and then let's take a look at a good Street Fighter 4 round, and we can kind of go over the differences here.
EX キリンゲットこれどうだまだ残るいやーあまりに逆始まるぞ2回目さあ次はダブラリマルか EX キリンゲットはスタンしているこれは残らないんじゃないか
残らないな
最高のEX も知らないと
Prey to the second hit of that. He thought he had the right choice, but Smug with great presence of mind chips enough. Ric Flair!
Yeah, he was looking for a pile driver there because it's come a couple of times.
This could be curtains.
Yeah, next hit. Oh, that could have been it, but he let it rip.
Oh, that's late. That's it.
No,
he misses
he
his
lives again.
360.
No, that's it. He had a second chance.
See, in Street Fighter V, the idea is that you have to guess over and over and over to secure the round. But let's take a look now at the Street Fighter 4 round. And that is pretty much what made Street Fighter 4 Zangief one of my favorite characters to play against, while I can't stand fighting Street Fighter 5 Zangief because, like Brian F said, he's a walking casino. Everything about him is guessing. Like, you're guessing with the V-Skill 1, you're guessing with the XPD, etc, etc, and I don't think that is a lot of fun. Now, what I would like to see in the future is for Capcom to emphasize the footsies element of Zangief and de-emphasize the command grab element. And I don't mean take away the command grab, take away the Oki or anything. Maybe make it so that you don't get like to vortex them after every SBD, but make him rewarded for playing neutral. It's honestly kinda sad like how hard it is for Zangief players in Street Fighter V these days, because he doesn't get rewarded for playing neutral whatsoever, right? Like everything's just stalling until you're able to land the one SBD mix-up, which is pretty sad. So please buff his button, buff his walk speed, because I also think it's kinda unreasonable how slow Zangief is in Street Fighter V. Like, he was on the slower end in Street Fighter 4, but watching that clip with Itabashi versus Mug, he looks way faster in that game than he is in Street Fighter V. It's honestly pretty sad, to be honest. So I would like to see more emphasis on the neutral, more emphasis on the footsies, getting rewarded for whiff punishing, and less emphasis on guessing on the command grab. Unfortunately, we have already heard some leaked voice lines, and we know that Zangief have more grabs than ever. So I don't know how they're gonna take him. I'm worrying that Capcom maybe will double down on the grabbler route, and we're gonna make Zangief do nothing but grab you the entire round. I really hope they don't go in that route. Street Fighter 6 is already gearing up to be a game where neutral is very important, and I think with the addition of Drive Rush, there is a good chance that this character will have a good time being able to like whiff punish into some real rewards, right? But you never know. Like, you really never know. He's already going up against an uphill battle because everyone will have meter at the start of the round, and level 1 supers have invulnerability, so it will be difficult if the entire thing is just based around guessing with grabs. Anyway, that is pretty much my thoughts on Zangief and how I would like to see the character evolve. This is a character that really grew on me the more I played him, and I guess like guessing a lot with him and having the right reads can be always fun, but I honestly would wish he would go more into the footsies game like he used to be. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, it helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, the Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.